think the only thing that you could possibly learn from this video is that I am an absolute loon. Hello humans, it's just Martine, and today I'm going to be doing a New Year's reading type challenge. This is complex to explain in my brain. Some people like to start with a blank slate on their reading challenge when they go into the new year, but because the idea of starting at like 0 of a goal or any project really stresses me out so much, I don't love going in with a clean slate. So some people would think this is cheating my reading goal. But since I do it every year, it doesn't really matter because it just continues on and on and on, the same way that I count books for the months that I finished reading them in, not the months I started reading them in. So basically I'm in the middle of 8 books right now. It's December 30th, almost 8 p.m., and I've specifically made myself be in the middle of 8 books. Well, at first it was like in the middle of 6 books, and that was kind of unintentionally and just how I read. If you want to find out more about that, I guess comment down below. I think I read pretty normally, but... So anyway, yeah, I'm usually reading a lot of books at once, but I am purposefully reading many books at once right now, except in kind of a different way, because instead of finishing them when I could, I'm just lingering around the end, and I will finish them once 2021 arrives. Maybe in the first few days, maybe just in the first day. I don't really know. One year I did it where like right after midnight I finished the books, but some of these books I'm leaving like a little bit longer than just like the last chapter or something left. I'm quickly gonna walk you through all the books that I'm reading. I'm not going to go into much detail about them because some are for like specific video projects, so like I don't want to spoil those, and my goal wrap up for the end of January should have these books in it anyway, with the 5 things about this book. You can know more about it if you so choose to at the time. You can also follow me on Goodreads, that's always in the description, and I should post about these books when I finish them there. So you have options, is what I'm trying to say. So I won't get too much into it. I'll more talk about actually doing the reading instead of what I'm reading, but I need to tell you about the book so that you understand how I'm doing this, if that makes sense. So pretty much my brain works in this weird way where I can read multiple books at once, like 8. I don't get them confused in my head, as long as I keep genres separated by the reading method. This sounds really confusing. All that basically means is if I have physical books, ebooks, and audiobooks, I cannot be reading multiple audiobooks all of the same genre. If I want to read multiple books of the same genre, say a YA contemporary, then I can have an audiobook, an ebook, and a physical book and not get them confused. But as soon as I have like 2 audiobook ones that are both the same genre, then I'm worried that I'd get confused. So this is just how I do it. It's also so that I'm not reading too much of the same genre at once, if that makes sense. So like right now I'm listening to 3 audiobooks, I'm reading 2 ebooks, and I'm reading 3 physical books. Yes, that's 8. I counted correctly. I thought I was losing my marbles for half a second, but we're all good. The closest I think I've gotten to crossing genres in my style of reading this time is that I'm reading 2 fantasies, what I would consider to be fantasies. On audiobook, I'm reading City of Brass and A Court of Thorns and Roses, hereafter known as ACOTAR, as the rest of the book community calls it. If you don't know, now you know. So I'm reading those 2, and they're both fantasy, but they're very different types of fantasy. One is like Middle Eastern inspired, and one is traditional European-ish fairies. Like, they're just 2 totally different sets of lore around them. So that's fine with me. And then my 3rd audiobook that I'm listening to right now is To All the Boys I've Loved Before, and that's a YA contemporary, so I'll go there. The 3 physical books I'm reading are With the Fire on High, which is a YA contemporary, hard-hitting more though, Beach Breeze and Bloodshed, which is a mystery, 3 Brothers, which is a historical fiction domestic drama, basically. And then the 2 ebooks that I'm reading right now, which I might add a 3rd to, not gonna lie, are Modified Blueprint, which is a like dystopian type speculative fiction basically, and then 13 Blue Envelopes, I think is what it's called, which is contemporary. So yeah, that's what I mean by different method, different genre. So hopefully I'll be finishing all 8 of these books very shortly after the new year begins, and I just want to document that journey and process for your consideration, because if in the first few days of the new year I get 8 books put on my 2021 reading challenge as read, when I'm setting my challenge as 52, that's going to be a great start to it, and I'm going to feel really good and calm about it, which is always good. Let's do this. I've made an impressive start to my reading for the day by watching YouTube in bed for an hour and a half after waking up. It's 11:40, so it's about to be lunchtime here at home, so I'm gonna update you on the reading I've done so far today. So I've read a few pages each of all 3 of my physical books. I did like 10-minute sprints and rotated through them like 1 or 2 times. And then for my audiobooks, I was like 6 hours away from the end of A Court of Thorns and Roses, and I got to a little more than an hour away from the end. I was at 2 hours away from the end of City of Brass, and I got to about an hour away. To All the Boys I've Loved Before, I got to about an hour left too. And I had been at 1 hour and 20 minutes. For all of those, I was listening at like 3 times the speed, so. And that's been my morning, pretty much. So this afternoon, I marked the places that I want to get to in all 3 physical books with like yellow sticky notes, so hopefully I'll get to those places, but of course I'll update you. And then I really need to make progress on my 2 ebooks because I'm only at like 60% of both of those, and then the audiobook that I started yesterday I'm at 20% of, and I'd like to make a little more progress, but that is not my priority today for reading. So those are my plans, that's my update. It's going well. I'm excited to be able to finish all these books like in the next few days. I wish I could finish them right now, but it's the 31st, so I'll need a little longer and it will be worth it in the end. I had rather a busy afternoon, so it's almost 5 o'clock and I only just got to the places in my 3 physical books that I wanted to get, but I got there. So for the rest of the day, aside from like chilling out, watching YouTube and eating dinner with my family and such, I'm probably just going to be reading my 2 ebooks. Okay, it's 11:51 on New Year's Day. Happy New Year's, and I'm going to give you a brief update. Last night, I got to like 90% of 13 blue envelopes, everywhere else that I wanted to reach in like all the other books, and then I didn't really make much progress on the modified blueprint, so going into today, I have the most of that to read. Who knows if I'll actually finish it today, but so far I've finished 6 books this new year. So I read Three Brothers, With the Fire on High, the beach one. What's it called? Beach Breeze Bloodshed, I think it's called. A Court of Thorns and Roses, City of Brass, and To All the Boys I've Loved Before. So lots of very popular booktube hits in this video in particular. So I would like to at least finish 13 blue envelopes today and then maybe try to get in the modified blueprint, but who knows? It's New Year's, we're kind of chilling. Goodreads was crashing left and right over capacity per usual, but since my goal is 52 books this year, I've now completed 6. That's a great start. We're now at 46 books to read for the year. I'm sorry I didn't update you as I was finishing, but my family does this, I think it's a Canadian tradition. We do our stockings on New Year's. So I got a bunch of stuff in my stocking, including one book that looks pretty interesting. In the front flap, it like seemed to be talking about this girl who was converting to Judaism and then suddenly turned to like murder, I think. That should be interesting, and a bunch of snacks and stuff, so all very nice. And we broke our gingerbread houses this morning to ring in the new year. That's where I'm at. It is just past 3 p.m. and I just finished reading The Modified Blueprint by Kellen Thompson, which is going to be my final read for this because it is my 8th read and tired of reading. I've been reading all day, not gonna lie. So I did finish 13 blue envelopes, and I finished The Modified Blueprint, and then I wrote up my Goodreads review and sent it off. The Modified Blueprint is out February 7th of this year, I want to say, and it's the sequel to The Unexpected Inlander, which I've reviewed before. If you're kind of curious, but you're like hesitant, you're like, I don't know if I want to spend money on it, I'm gonna say right now, as of when I'm filming this, I can't guarantee anything, but when I'm filming this, the ebook for The Unexpected Inlander and the pre-order of the ebook for The Modified Blueprint are each 99 cents on Amazon. I'll leave those links down below, so if you want to check it out. They're Secret Agents, Genetic Modification. The second book, in my opinion, is a little bit better written. The first one's not poorly written, but the second definitely shows the author's growth, which is exciting to see always, and is less focused on the romance. The first book has lots of world building and stuff, but it's mainly focused on this unexpected inlander, this romance that happens, and this one is more focused on like a specific mission and is pretty much all about that mission instead of the romance. I liked it a bit better, not going to lie. Not because it was a poorly written romance, but because I just prefer that to romance. Typically, if they're going to be secret agents, I want to watch them do cool things. Yeah, I really enjoyed it, and I encourage you to go check it out. And it's also by an independent author. Kellen Thompson is an independent author, so you'd be supporting an independent author. So if that's one of your goals for the new year, I recommend. Yeah, so in total, I finished 8 books. I'm ending this off here. I got my New Year's reading accomplished. I have 8 of my 52 books already read and ready to go on Goodreads, and I'm feeling good about it, and I'm excited that I finally got to finish books I was in the middle of because they were stacking up and I was getting a little stressed. I still have a lot to read, but it was just a lot to be like, I'm reading this, and I got really caught up in it, and then I get to the end, I'm like, wait, hold up, we're saving this for the first day of the year. So anyway, yeah, if you like this video, go ahead and give it a big thumbs up and comment down below. Would you ever do something like this, or do you need to start with a clean slate? What are your opinions on this type of New Year's reading challenge? Don't tell me I cheated because they're fake rules. It doesn't matter anyway. And subscribe for more reading, writing, and college lifestyle content. And until next time, bye humans, bye.